Well, friends, good morning and great to be with you. Pete Stedman, Senior Minister at Norwest, with Dave Jennings and Craig Sheffers, a couple of members of our Norwest Building Committee. We are excited to bring you an update as to where things are up to with our building project. I'm going to kick off with two pieces of really exciting news. The first is we are just about to receive our DA from the council. Council have been in touch with us and they told us they're going to give it to us very soon. So that is just so much work, years of work. You may not remember, I said early on it'd take about 12 weeks. Others said that it would take a bit longer than that. Well, we've seen who's right here. But the fact is, we're just about to get it, and thank you for your prayers because we're just so excited. It means that we can now move forward in really helpful ways. The second piece of good news is that we have received a $30,000 grant from our state government to redevelop the entry plaza to the church, which is why we're standing at the front here. You'll remember that when you come up the driveway, you get your name tags out the front of the church here, that there is a gutter and a curb that you step up to go in. That will all go. We're going to put in a new retaining wall, open this up into a bit of a plaza, and have a great place where we can actually gather before we head into the church. We've also put in for a grant to put a new cover or a roof over this. That'll help us in wet weather. Hopefully we'll get that next year. We'll let you know how we go with that. Well, I'm going to now hand over to Dave Jennings. Dave, there's some challenges before us, particularly with the way the world's changed due to COVID. I know that's impacted you in your work, but also with the building project. What are some of the challenges before us?
Well, I think, Pete, in some ways, things haven't really changed. So what we know here is we still need to develop the property, because it's not about the next 2 years. This is about 30 years forward. So we still need to develop the property. We need to do that in a wise way. So the project that we're talking about here is still going to go ahead in some way. It will go ahead. So that's the first thing. I think the other thing is that during this time it's been just tremendously uplifting for Pete and for the committee to know the generosity of the people in their giving to this project. And so thank you very much for that generous giving and your financial commitment to this project. So some things haven't changed in that we're still going ahead, but in many respects other things have changed because we don't know what the future is going to quite look like in the immediate term and even a bit longer than that. So we have to think about what parts of this project are wise to do at this point in time, what we can afford to do, and what that looks like in the longer term.
David, thank you, and thank you for your leadership through this. It's just been so helpful to have someone with experience in this space. Craig, over to you. How are we actually going to move forward in this area? How are we going to make these decisions before us?
Yeah. So in terms of an update with our giving, we've received close to $1 million already of the $1.6 million that was pledged, and we're just so thankful for your generosity. It's such a privilege for us to serve such a generous church in this way. We are currently running about 13% under in terms of the amount pledged to date. So if you're able, as you're able, it would be lovely to see a bit of catch up on that as we can. The next steps, Norwest Building Committee and Parish Council, we're going to look at the overall master plan and the approved works, and we'll discuss options and staging, and then we'll then organise for a whole church meeting to present a proposed scope of works and a proposed project to bring before you, and we'll discuss that, we'll get your feedback, and then we'll move forward with the detailed design, tender and construction. We're going to organise that whole church meeting in term 4 ideally, or otherwise first thing next year, so have a look out for the details. That'll be coming out to you shortly. And just again, we're just so thankful for everyone's generosity. It's such a privilege to serve in this church.
So friends, a delight to bring you an update today, particularly with a couple of pieces of really exciting news. Thank you for your partnership, your commitment to the gospel, your desire to see Christ preached in this part of Sydney for the generations to come. If you're new to Norwest and you're not sure about all the things we're talking about here, this pack is available for you. It's in the church, or get in touch with the office. We'll get one to you. We'd love for you to be praying and understanding what's happening here as well. God bless you all. Look forward to seeing you soon. Have a great week.